Evening, chaps. How you doing, Panzer? Good to see you. Evening, William. Hope you're all keeping well. Evening, Bill, over on Facebook. How you doing, chap? Hopefully you're cool. The tank is looking very cool. I'll try to follow a little here and there. No worries, buddy. Whenever you can make it, watch it back at a later date, whatever. It's all good. Yeah, so it's as you can see outside, it's absolutely scorching. And it's been like it for the last pretty much 2 weeks, I think. So yeah, makes a change for up here, and it's to be quite nice all the way up till Monday, I think. So making the most of it. So we'll jump back on this old tank, carry on, malarkey, whatever you want to call it, and there you go. So I kind of blue tacked the little chappies in there just so I didn't lose them, to be honest. But yeah, so we need to give them a paint. Keep going on the painting with them. Now, my theory is I know they've got black outfits, and as far as I can see, their radio gear and all that is black as well. But obviously, I want it to show a little bit more than what it is black on black. So what I'm gonna do, I'll probably go for probably a darker kind of a real dark grey kind of colour and do their little headsets on them. You can't see very well there until it focuses properly, and then it's focusing on my finger and not on the figure. So yeah, they got a little headset on anyway. Yeah, you might see it better with that. Maybe not. I think they're too small to show. But they're kind of on their hats there, you can see it's all black and then it's like black headset. So it's like, So I'm thinking, like the rubbery bit, that goes over their ears, the padding, whatever you want to call it, so it don't crush your eardrums or whatever. I'm thinking of doing them just a slightly different kind of colour. I know they're tiny and you probably wouldn't even notice it, but I'm hoping that if I do the headset and the mic, just that little bit different of black, then it might stand out a little more. So I'm thinking of going with, I can see it. Where is it gone? Do you know what? No, I don't want to go with that colour. I'm going to go with a greeny kind of black. It's like a dark grey with black. I hope you see that. Just, it is a black. It's like a German RLM 70 black green. So I was thinking more kind of something similar to that. There you go, that's even better. A grey black. A grey green. Is that what? RLM 74. Right, I'm going to go for RAL 7021 or Alclad 250. Here, here's one for Panzer to pronounce. It's Panzer Schwartz Grey or something. There you go. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. It's a German black. So I'm going to paint the headset in that. Evening, Ali. Evening, Miguel. How you doing? Oh, YouTube's jumping away. Spear and Glue. That's David. How you doing, chap? Good to see you. And Simon. Evening, fella. Hope you're all enjoying the weather and not ending up looking like strawberries. So yeah, my theory is if I paint it in like that, pans are kind of black, then it's just that little different tone, isn't it? Evening, Apple. So what is for dinner tonight since Fred has all them tatties to cook up? How about Neep's tatties and Skirly and wash it down with an ice cold glass of iron brew? Well, I had steak with my tatties. They came out really well. I was really surprised. Uh, every year I've tried make a pig's ear of it, mate, you know. But the missus seems to have the Midas touch with them, you know, the magic fingers, because she's done really well with them. Because I've been busy working, so I just looked up when you can take the crop out and see what they're like. They tasted really good, and we still got loads in a bowl as well, so all good. So this is airbrush ready, which doesn't help when you've got a hairy stick too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some in a dish and let the solvent evaporate a little, and hopefully if I time it right it should thicken it up just a little bit so I can use it with a brush. That's my theory. That's an old brush, no good anyway. This little bug baby here is the one I'll be using. Will you be building another tank, Fred, sometime down the road? As they say never. Have I got plans to build a tank at some point again? Not as such. Obviously, this one was sent to me as a challenge to build online by Ron. So it's not kind of the things that go first on my list when I've got money to buy a kit, or I have the option without the missus moaning of buying a kit. It normally tends to be aircraft or a car, but I won't say never say never. If I was to build another tank, question I suppose would be, what kind of tank do you think? That would be $1 million question, really. Evening, Mike. Scaly Models. How you doing, chap? If any of you guys over on YouTube, by the way, want me to give a shout for your YouTube lives, just send me a little message or tell one of the moderators, and they'll put a link up. I know I've got most of you on my lists, but I can't remember who does what and when they do it. Now, this is coming out okay, and it is just slightly different black. I will dry brush these as well at some point. That's interesting, the way the headset is. It's like a bigger band on its head, along the top. Now, you're not going to notice this on the camera, but you will see this once I take the photos. So it is ever so slightly different, not much in it at all. Evening, Ross. How you doing, chap? I don't think you can tell from the camera there, but it is a different black. You can just make it out on the photo, you know, like with the naked eye. So when I take photos at the end, you shall see them. Evening, Paul. Plastic Monkey Paul over on YouTube there. It's good to see everyone, especially in this hot weather, because most people would rather be outside, no doubt, and then moan that they're too hot. I've been reading my new book. I'll tell you the name of it again in a minute. It's the one that I posted yesterday. Just get this little chap's head done. Hands are a little shaky, so. Hi Sarah, how are you doing? Yeah, this one, Defend or Die, Mk.5. Protect your country, whatever the cost. Actually, really interesting. Yes, he was in the SAS, and then he was in MI5, and then he was in a special little group that done the dirty work for the government, basically, with no rules and no whatever, you know. Really interesting. It's kind of like the SAS. Obviously, he was in the SAS, intelligence and all that lot, gathering, and he has to do horrible things now and again. But they're pretty much ghosts, you know. They're it's a secret department that he was in, doing the government dirty work, basically, that no one else can be seen to be doing. It's quite interesting. I've been reading it today, and I'm just over a quarter of the way through it. I think there's 460 odd pages. So I've been reading all day on it. Couldn't resist it. It's one of them books, you know, when you start reading it, you just don't want to put it down. It's actually quite good. So definitely interesting insight, and it's modern day. When you start reading it, you realise straight away, especially if you're in the UK, because he refers to certain things at the period what he's writing the book for, and them certain things we'll have all seen on the news. So it's quite interesting to see what's been going on after what the Joe public finds out, you know. So yeah, it's quite good. So that's how I'm not put it down. I'm in a hospital bed, so typing is a bit iffy. Not a nice time, but getting through it. Oh, I hope you get well soon, Sarah. Got my live stream tonight at 10 p.m. Scale Model Ninja. There you go. If you're on YouTube, Scale Model Ninja. It's Pal Ross. He'll be streaming live tonight at 10 o'clock. I'll try and find a linky link. And I shall chuck it across to you. I bet I've just messed up everything. Yeah. Typical, isn't it? I didn't expect that to happen. Oh well. Should have known, really. Where is he? He's here somewhere. There we go. Right. So if I stick that link there, and then close that because that's messing up absolutely everything. There you go. That's back. And I put a link in there. There we go. 10 o'clock tonight, Ross. Ross will be on Scale Model Ninja. He does a lot of the Warhammer and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool. There you go. I'll stick one on you on Facebook as well. There we go. So that should all come through to everybody. All good. Yeah, Fred. In America, they have a similar group called Ghost Wolves. As no one knows who they are and who backs them. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, mate. It's they're called Blind Eye, the department, and it's the department's just started up and they're on their first major case, what they've got to deal with, and they're getting intelligence and gathering stuff. But it's all to do with stuff that here in the UK we actually heard on the news, but not what happened in the book, obviously. It was just a very squeaky clean version of what was on the news, you know, but you can relate to what they're talking about because it's quite recent. And it was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so it's like, it's getting really interesting anyway, because they're not sure who to trust in their department and all that lot at the minute. There's lots of mad stuff going on. I'm 5 hours behind you here in Indiana, yeah. So 10 o'clock, so that'll be, if you're behind us, that'll be 5 o'clock in your time, Bill. He's really cool at the Warhammer, and go for it. Right, so we've got our little chappies with their headsets done. You can just make out it's a different black, which is all good. So really I want a dry brush really, don't I? Get some of these crinkles in their uniforms showing. I'll go back to my little box of humble paints. All them silly little pots that you get that are no good for nothing apart from that. And I'm gonna go with, like a, what do I do? Maybe like a sort of silvery kind of finish, just to make their uniforms pop. If it all goes pear-shaped, I'll just repaint it. Not a problem. Hi Carlo, how are you? In Lima it's 1:19 p.m. Well, he'll be live 19 in just under, get your brain into gear, Freddy boy. Just under 3 hours time he'll be live. Don't know how that took me a minute to figure out. It's 20 past 7 here, so, and it's Scorpio, because here in the UK, you know, everybody says, yeah, in their country it's even hotter, blah blah blah. But what you got to remember is, in the UK we don't have air conditioning, so it's when it's hot here, it's hot because, you know, we don't get that kind of heat normally. So I'm going with a grey, look, a little grey. There it is. I'm going to go with that with the dry brush and ink to make a uniform pop. That brush is going to be too big. And I don't want to get it on the head. Bench Sarah. Alright, all thanks. Sarah, good stuff. Neat paint storage. It's the box where I chuck all my silly little paints in, and then I keep them for like detailing and buttons and cockpits and stuff like that. So I don't use it very often, but it is what it is. I use a fan instead, do I? It's a bummer. Sometimes, mate, yeah. Most of the time we just kind of grin and bear it because we don't get good weather like this that much. Not up here anyway. So you just kind of grin and bear it. Enjoy it. Just jump in the shade if you can find a shady spot. Right. So, yeah, all this paint off this brush. Kind of crazy that, isn't it? Put the paint on and then take it off. And then I want to try it on my fingernail first, really, don't I? Yeah. There we go. Oh, super job. I'm just with a grey, picking out the details on it. As you do. Gives it a different tone of black as well then. As well. Probably matte him down as well once we're finished. Carlo, unfortunately, mate, I can't get translate up while I'm live. So I can't see what you've actually said, buddy, I'm afraid. Sometimes there's guys on Facebook that will click translate for me and let me know what you said. Just a quick little dry brush in there. It's just picked out that uniform and took that black kind of look away from it. So all good. A little bit on his elbow there. There you go. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but nah, you're not going to see it. You'll have to see it after on the photograph. But it's definitely picked out the detail. It's because everything's so subtle on it now that you can't really see it on these cameras. Even though the HD cameras there, can't really tell. But I can see it, so it's all good. And when I take photos, you'll get to see it as well. Evening, Cam, Conrad, and David. How you doing, chaps? Oh, Sue. Hiya, Sue. How you doing? Sue's back. I drove past the reservoir today and there was a sign stating no swimming allowed, which is good as most of the water has evaporated and levels are down by 10 feet. Oof. Yeah, I'm not surprised though, mate. It's been that dry and hot everywhere here. We've had this wonderful heat wave that every day I look on my phone, it says, well, on Monday there, it said, oh, it'll rain on Saturday. And then I looked on Tuesday and it said it's going to be hot on Saturday and it's going to rain on Sunday. And then I looked on Wednesday and it said it's going to be sunny up until Monday and then rain on Tuesday. So it was like, you just keep moving it along. I don't think any of them know how long it's going to last. I get it. I mean, weather's a guessing game anyway, isn't it? So that's one other little champy dump. I am actually going to do my little black wash as well. Just to tone down that pink like I did with the tank barrel when I did it. We'll get to that in a minute. Just get these things to pop a little bit on the uniforms. It'll dry brush. Just tone down that black a little too. That looks good. Yeah, happy with that. Right, I'm looking for number 11. It's a little silver. A humble number 11. And then Mk.5. There you go. Humble number 11. Now, this is not for the figures. This is for the actual tank. There you go. Right, have a bigger brush on this one. Right. You might see this better, this one. According to BBC Radio in the southwest of England, we can expect thunderstorms coming from Europe in the next 24 hours, so need the weather garden plots. Yeah, we need water. We need water, for sure. Right, tank. Right, so my wonderful attempt of a tank. I've got dry brush silver on here. And what I'm going to do, just going to go over bits on the boxes here. Really lightly. On the edges. So it's a bit like wear and tear. You know what I mean? I don't know how well you can see that. That's made that box there stand out compared to them. Can you see the difference there? That's got the same catches on it. Right? You see how that bit of dry brushing's just brought them out a little bit. It's real subtle, but you can still see the colour and all that. See you later, Panzer. Take care, pal. Don't melt in this heat too much. Evening, Johnny. How you doing, chap? And we've got Declan. How you doing, chap? Noodles. David. Comrade again. So I'm just gonna do that on all these boxes. Make them catches stand out. I guess, and it is a guess, but I would imagine the catches being used regular would end up showing a bit of wear on the old paint and the corners of the boxes and all that kind of stuff. I'd imagine. I'm going to try and do one side and then you'll see the two sides and what they're like. I do like doing this bit. Should look good. Theory. So on the side that hasn't been done, that's how it is. That's not been done, right? And then get it around the right way. That side has been done. Can you see that difference there with the buckles and stuff? And the edges of the boxes. It's just made them pop. It's still the right colour. Evening, Richard. I'm good, thanks, mate. Bit warm, but I'm good. Hi, Annette. I'm good, thanks. How are you? So, just silly little bit of dry brushing there for 2 seconds. Or a couple of minutes, I'll say. And it's just made them catches stand out. So basically I've got all these boxes to do, so that's that little bit of wear and tear look. I've got no idea what I'm doing with these tanks. Just kind of playing it as I go along. I'm good packing stuff, so keeping busy and keeping out of mischief. Packing stuff. Oh, how's your mum? She picked up a model yet? Yeah, I remembered. Yeah. A little bit more. Cheers, Johnny. All good fun, mate. I guess. It's kind of weird not having wings and all that carry on. But challenge is a challenge, as they say. What I like about dry brushing, you can just put as much on as you want, or as little, and just build it up. Yeah, another box up there. Now I'm not kind of happy with the colour of the jerry can. I'll show you in a minute. I think I'm going to have to go slightly darker. Let's get these boxes done first. I can show you. I think it's too light at the moment. As you know, I've got absolutely no idea about this stuff. So Just kind of going along with it. What else can I dry brush? Not a lot else of them. Right, the jerry can. I think I need to go darker. There's my colours at the moment, and there's my jerry can. I think it's too light. I think it stands out too much. Let's see if I can put it on there like that. You see that? I think it's too light. I think I'm going to need to darken it a tad. I don't know if it's just too light or if I can darken it with a wash and kind of do it that way. I just think it stands out far too much. It's not looking right. So I'm going to give it a quick little spray. Right. What colour? I'm going to go with the olive drab, I think. Yeah. No, I'll go olive drab. Yeah, we'll whip the old compressor on. Hopefully it's all working good. Yeah, I'm going with the olive drab there. I'm going to go with. I think it'll be a better colour. Yeah. I think that's better. Definitely looks better. Smells better too now. You need someone to send you a Warhammer challenge through. Then you can join all the rest of us down the rabbit hole. Oh yeah. You're all killing me. I've still got my ship to finish as well, so I really need to get on with the turpits as well. But with work being what it is, I'm not really getting time for the bench at the minute. Not like I used to anyway. But we'll get the tank done, and then I think what I'll do is every time I'm live, I'll alternate between the Spitfire that you sent, Ross, and the ship. Because the ship's going to take ages. If you've seen the rigging on it, it's absolute nightmare. So even when I've built it, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to take ages, this ship. She's still the same as when I left her last. Nothing's changed. She's still the same. So I've still got that side to do now before I can carry on. So I don't claim responsibility for your downfall, Johnny. Evening, Ron. You're doing the Chieftain, and I'm doing the Challenger T. That TES, my Afghan build. Awesome. I will catch up on my Facebook group today while I get a chance. So I've gone olive drab with that. It's dry. It's fine that. No paint. It's as quick as that. And I think that looks a little bit more blended in. Slightly different green, but more blended in. I think that's looking better that way. Everything's just a slight tone difference. Don't do it, Fred. There's not many proper modelers left around here. Oh dear. We have a lad at our model club that I run the M4H sessions with, and he's really good at Warhammer stuff. It amazes me when you see what he does. Same with Ross and a lot of you other guys that do it. It's just like, wow. Me doing it, I think most of the Warhammer builders would end up having either a heart attack or a hissy fit by the time I'd done whatever I do to one. So I'm just gonna a little bit of that silver dry brushing on the handles there. If I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, I like the Warhammer. I think it's amazing what you guys do with them. Me doing it, it'd certainly be a different way of doing it. So I'm going along the edges now with this silver dry brushing, just to kind of make it so it's a little bit worn kind of look. You'll see all this better on photos at the end. What I want to try and do is like, you know, like staining on this jerry can. I know it's tiny and it's like, is it worth doing it really? You're not going to see it, but I'll see it. So yes, I will do it. That's got kind of a worn look to it now. I will show you on the photos on social media. I'll post them later and go right close up to it. Right, I want to do a little stain now. If you remember on my Lancaster, I used the landing gear weathering set. So I'm thinking if I use some of that, I may be able to do like a little stain from where the cap is. That's my theory. Do the turpit as a diorama with a sunk upside down. That saves painting. Someone said that to me when I first painted the actual hull. They said, there you go, that's Turpit's finished. Fred, Ernesto said, oh right, someone on YouTube's translated it for me, pal. Fred, Ernesto said, when are you going to build a sub? Oh right, when am I going to build a submarine? Oh no, you guys are cruel. You may have noticed, looking at my Facebook and all that carry on, that I haven't actually built any submarines. So, Carlo, no idea, buddy. That's my answer to that. What's happened there? Why can't I see? I think Ron can still see. I think I clicked the wrong button there. Yes, submarine, never know. I'd like to do a cutaway one if I was going to do one. God, I thought the show was an improvement on the other channels. See, we are now talking body extrusions. So, I've got a little bit of this landing gear wash. And to try and remember to keep my hands in the front here. I'm going to put a little drop on there like that. Around that cap. Like so. So I'll put a little drop. You're not going to see this because it's so bloody small. I'll put a little drop on the edge there. You won't see it. And then what I'm going to do is a cotton bud and some screen wash. And I'm just going to drag that down and thin it out. There's a nice 48 one you want. One like you want, Fred, just saying. Oh dear. An aircraft modeler, for crying out loud. So there, I've just thinned that a tiny bit and dragged it. I'm kind of going like that with it. And that's just give it that grubbiness. I really want to get a photo of that. I'm actually quite pleased. For such a tiny little drop that I've used from what I did. It looks alright. Oh, don't put that in there. 48 sub. Man, a 48 sub would be massive. It's like getting like challenge Annika here, but with a beard. True, Ali. Oh, it's like let's send Fred something to do his head in. Watch him live and go ooh and call it all sorts of silly parts and that because he hasn't got a clue what he's talking about, which is pretty much what's happening. Fred, I've packed a goodie box and we'll send it to you soon for the men's shed. Oh, cheers, Ron. You're a star, mate. All good. I'm desperate to get recovery back because of a Malibu. Too right. So that jerry can, right, I am really pleased with that, how that's come out. And I will get a real close-up photo of it for you so you can see it. Because I'm really chuffed with that. Simple little bit of messing about there. Bit of dry brushing and whatnot, and it's come out great. So, what's the time? 51, yeah, we've still got a few minutes. Let's tone down this pink a little bit. Get this pink sorted out because it's too pink. 100 kids every night pick up a can of beans and say, Mum, there is one missing. Right. So I'm just going to do this little kind of, like I've done before, a little bit of black paint. Don't break your brush like that when you're live, by the way. I'll use that as a stirring stick. I believe I just did that. Right, try again. Bit the old car screen wash again. And another section. And just like I did with the tan colour on the barrel, I'm just kind of making a dirty water colour. Just like dirty water. And I'm just going to paint their pink little faces. Just kind of just picks out detail, tones that pink down a little, not so bland. Makes their hands look a little bit grubby. And picks out their eyes and stuff like that. Nothing too fancy. Just makes their fingers, you know, because you painted it, well, I painted it with a hat by hand. Their fingers, you can't really just see the difference in their fingers. But with a little black wash like that, it just tones that down and makes you see their fingers. It gives their face a bit of colour as well. Makes it straight, which you'll see as well when it's done. There's not much else I can do with the figures, to be honest. Don't think. I'm not a figure painter by any means. There'll be figure painters going, what's he done? There. So just a little quick dry brush in there. Wash. Okay, before his master comes home for an hour to go for a walk, he's fucking heading out. No worries, Apple. You take care, pal. And I'll see you next week, hopefully. And some bugger will probably send me a big old flipping Warhammer or a stupid 148 scale submarine, thanks to you lot. I'll be like, is Ross still here? Ross is still here, isn't you? Yeah. Did you manage to use all the spare parts I've sent you yet? No, I haven't, Ross. And the reason is I'm keeping them for the model club. Oh, we have used some actually. What happened was I took them to the model club, right? Because this WTF, I have to say the letters because I can't say the word, group build that I'm running on Twitter, I think it's the end of the month, is all about spare parts, yogurt pots, whatever, and use your imagination, as you know, because I spoke to you about it, Ross. Well, one of the guys that's building the Short Sunderland in the model club, he'd lost one of the propellers. And when we went through that box of spares you sent us, we put all the propellers in one bag and put all the figures, you know, like that. Also, they're separated, easier to understand what's there. And lo and behold, you had 4 propellers that fit exactly the same as a Short Sunderland in 172. So he's chuffed to bits at the model club because he's, like I say, he's had some missing, so it means he can finish his build. So that's the one on the Garnet Valley Men's Shed Modelers, the actual Facebook page and all that lot. I'm still hooking up the cameras for the live feed on a Friday. There was a technical issue yesterday and I had to sort it out, and it spent about an hour so I never got round to going live yesterday, but next Friday hopefully we'll maybe get a little hour in. But yeah, so the guys can't wait to do the group build either. They're looking forward to it no end, so thank you very much for all that. You've saved a model kit that was going to be upsetting for a model builder, and also the group build. Obviously the guys' minds are running riot already. And of course I've got the Spitfire challenge that you sent me down here. So it's kind of a double one. In fact, I've not shown you the decals. The decals are awesome, by the way. So you sent me, Ross, let me find it. You sent me the Spitfire. You sent that one. And these awesome civilian decals as a challenge. So I'm using these decals because they're the IXC, and I've got that kit, IXC, and I'm going to do that kit with them decals. That's your first part of your challenge that you gave me. And then with this one, because it's an older kit and blah blah blah, another good friend of mine, Chris Brown, sent me 3D decals. You know, the 3D ones, the new style, for a 132 Spitfire. So it should be really interesting to see how they come out. And when you actually feel them, they're actually bumps. It's not, I thought when it was 3D decals, I actually thought it was like a 3D image, but flat and smooth. Yeah, you know, like dead flat and smooth, and it just looked like a 3D image when you put it on the model, but it's not. And I was quite impressed because there's actually, I don't know if you can hear that, it's actually bumps. So they're not only printed in a 3D image, but they're actually lumpy bumpy as well, which is really interesting because I've never tried using these before yet. But they're actually, like I say, there's actual lumps. I don't know if you can even see that, but it's a ridge. So they're actually really cool, man. So I can't wait to try these out. Because obviously the new 3D decals, everybody's been ranting about them and having a shot on them and all that carry on. And I've not, excuse me, and I've not had the chance to try them out. So I'm going to be using them, but I've also got some leftover top-notch masks for insignia. There's a 1A Jeffrey Wenham. So I'm going to use the 3D decals, and then I'm going to spray the insignia and the codes and all that lot on it to make it completely different to the one that it is. So it's going to be kind of a mixed match of seeing what's going on, but it was going to be great fun to do. 148 Warhammer submarine. Now there's a thought. Behave, Alistair. No chance. Put a big old turret on the top of it. Submarine with a turret. Hi Edward, how are you? Good to see you, pal. Malibu jelly. Oh, that sounds nice. So yeah, so it should get really interesting on them Spitfires. And I'm going to build the both at the same time. So I'm going to do one, you know, like I say, one civilian and one whatever. Anyway, that's me kind of hour up. You're not going to see most of this because the lighting here is terrible at the moment. But there's my dry brushing with my buckles and sort of paint worn kind of effect on the crates there, with all the little catches showing up a bit better than what they were. Keep my hand still without shaking. And I kind of done the boxes on the back there as well, all the way around. so they're a little bit worn. All good. So there's that, my little jerry can with my little fuel stain and a bit of worn whatever, and my figures with a slightly different black on the radio and the microphone, and dry brushed and toned down that pink a little. So that's as far as we've got. I can't really think of anything else I would need to do on these figures, to be honest. I think they're pretty much ready just to pop them in there and let them do their thing. So we'll go on to a little bit of a wash and whatnot on this tank, because all this back bit here with the little grills and that, I want to grubby that up a little bit and make it pop a little bit more. And I don't know, play around a little bit with it, do some bits and bobs on it. Maybe put some black in the smoke thingy-jigs. See, I told you I know nothing about tanks. In them smoke canister firing things, I'll probably put a little black dot inside them next time as well, just so it looks like they've gone right through. If I'd have thought, I should have really drilled them first, but it is what it is. Cheers, innit? All good. So yeah, really, that's about it today, I'm afraid. That's an hour gone, just tottering about, chatting away and messing about. So all good. Oh, it's warm. So that's it, really. We've got a bit of stain in there and whatever. What I'll do, I'll take some photos in a little, just shortly, and I'll put them on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can have a look and see what they look like. And we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. I'm not going to go overboard with the weathering and stuff, because obviously it's quite a more modern-y kind of tank and whatever. I don't want to go too stupid on my first tank. I'll get braver if I do another one, maybe. I don't want to do mud and all that, because I've got the metal tracks all nice. Do you know what I mean? So I'll probably just do it on a hard standing or something. But all good. Well, thanks for listening to me waffling on, carrying on, and you chit chat and everything else, talking to me. It's all good. Build looks very nice. Cheers, Richard. You're a star, mate. I hope you're feeling all right in this hot weather. See you later, Fred. Take care and stay safe. Well doing it, and you too. Hope your mum's still doing all right. And yeah, you better not have some motion to start a war mixing Malibu. Anyway, that's it. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and you know how to get me if you want me. Just send a message. All good. And I shall see you next week. I will try and get an extra day in, but it's time's tight at the moment. So that's it. Bye for now. Stay safe and see you soon. Bye.